You know that look someone gets when they're just staring off into space, totally quiet? Ever wonder what's really going on in there? Well, sometimes a single, simple image can be the key to unlocking a massive, really complicated thought. And today, we're going to deconstruct one of those exact thoughts, all from a meme that's been making the rounds.
So here it is. This is a pretty common meme format, right? Someone asks, what's on your mind? And the answer isn't a sentence. It's this internal calculation. We've got a huge pile of money on one side, a fighter jet on the other, and a whole bunch of question marks in between. So our job today? Let's figure out what this person is actually thinking about.
All right, let's jump right in. The best way to start is with the most solid clue we have. Just like in any good mystery, we're going to follow the money.
$15 billion. Just look at all those zeros for a second. This isn't just some random number pulled out of thin air. It's a figure that's meant to feel huge, almost impossibly big. And it's the anchor for this entire thought.
So what does this number really stand for? Well, first off, it's a specific, massive cost. It's the tangible, real-world part of this mental equation. This is usually a number you'd see in the news, maybe tied to government spending or a big foreign aid package. You know, something that gets people talking. And for us, it's the perfect breadcrumb to start following.
Okay, so we've got the money part down. Now let's hop over to the other side of that equals sign and see what it's all about. We need to figure out what this piece of hardware is. And here we have it, a modern fighter jet. To be specific, this looks like an F-16 Fighting Falcon, which is one of the most common and recognizable tactical aircraft on the planet. This is a very deliberate and, let's be honest, a very powerful symbol to use.
But, you know, it's so much more than just a plane, isn't it? A fighter jet like this, it's a symbol of a country's high-tech muscle. It's a massive expense in any national budget. And of course, it's a huge piece on the global chessboard, a symbol of geopolitical power.
So this leads us to the big, flashing question at the center of it all. How on earth does $15 billion equal a fighter jet? Now, your first instinct might be to do the math, right? To figure out how many jets you can buy for that much money. But that's actually not what's going on here. Okay, let's connect the dots. This is where we get that aha moment, the point where the true picture that's forming in this person's mind really starts to become clear.
And here it is, the big reveal. This whole thing, it's not a math problem. It's not meant to be calculated. It's a statement. The image is using the language of math to say something about a really complex and often pretty controversial real-world issue.
I think this quote just sums it up perfectly. We're not supposed to be solving for X here. We're supposed to be unpacking the thought itself, to look past the symbols and see the much, much bigger conversation they're pointing to. So, this is the really crucial part. What do those 5 little question marks actually stand for? This is the heart of the whole meme. It's the silent part of the thought that we're trying to understand. Think of those question marks as a placeholder for, well, for everything else. All the stuff that's bubbling just under the surface. They represent the hidden context, the heated debates, all the ethical questions, and the potential consequences that are tied to that pile of money and that powerful machine. We can actually break down all that hidden complexity into 3 big questions. First, you've got the economic one. Is spending $15 billion this way really the best use of that money? Then there's the political question. What are the bigger strategies at play here? What alliances are involved? And finally, you have the ethical question. What are the moral implications? And what are the potential human costs? And this really shows the 2 sides of that debate. From one perspective, let's say a taxpayer's view, the focus is all on opportunity cost. What else could that $15 billion have paid for? Healthcare, education, roads and bridges? But from another view, say a military strategist, the focus is totally different. It's about strategic necessity. What critical capabilities does this provide to keep the country safe? The whole point of the meme is that it holds both of these competing valid thoughts at the exact same time. And that brings us right back to where we started. That person, sitting there, thinking. We've just spent a few minutes deconstructing one single complex thought, but it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? In a world that is so full of these massive, complicated issues, what's the equation that's quietly running in the back of your mind? What's on your mind?